Northern New Mexico city of Raton is located in the eastern portion of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. And just outside the city is the NRA Whittington Center, a haven for gun sportsmen. In one corner of the grounds is an unnamed ridge that plays host to the most challenging event in the shooting world, the King of 2 Miles. Welcome to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Burger Bullets. Hello, I'm Ted Jones, and joining me for today's coverage will be 3-time world champion Paul Phillips. Let's take a look at what they have to do to qualify. They're going to get 5 shots at target 1 and only 3 shots at the next targets 2, 3, and 4. Now, if they miss on any one of those targets, they are out for the entire competition. Bad news for you. Taking a look at today's targets, target 1, about 1,550 yards less than a mile. Target number 2 is 1,715 yards, and those targets 24 inches by 37 inches. Now for target 3, 1,890 yards, just over a mile. That one is 30 inches by 37, as is target number 4, 1,990 yards, just over 1 mile. Let's meet our expert analyst, Paul Phillips, who is a 3-time world champion, 11-time national champion. In 2017, he won a gold medal. He holds over 40 long-range records. Today, our competitors will use a cold bore, Paul explains.
This year at King of 2 Mile 2017, they put a gong at about a mile, 18-inch gong. It's called a cold bore gong challenge. And what that means is that when they come to the range, they're challenged to take just 1 shot at this 18-inch gong at almost a mile. They have to know their zeros perfectly with all their environmentals of their direction, their inclination, their humidity, their velocities, the bullet standard deviations. All that has to be accounted for to make that 1 shot perfectly within an 18-inch circle.
Let's get started right now. Our first shooter is Ed Faber out of Marshfield, Wisconsin. His spotter will be Jeff Haig.
Yeah, Jeff's going to have a difficult job. He's acting as a win coach and also a spotter at the same time. Not only that, they're the first team to go in this competition.
Well, and the first shot is a miss, but small wonder, like you said, Paul, he's the first guy, so he has no one that's gone before him to kind of get an idea of what's working. I hear the spotter giving him instructions. Let's see if that works.
Yeah, Jeff saw the shot. He gave him a correction.
Hey, it worked.
Yep, just off the bottom left edge of the plate there.
He changes nothing because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he didn't. He hit again.
Yeah, that one was center mass.
Just underneath the target, Ed.
So he told him how to correct it. And it worked. He gets a hit. 3 out of 5. Not bad at all for Ed Faber. Let's take a look at exactly where he hit that target. Look at number 3, right dead center, Paul.
For having 1 spotter, they did very well together. They communicated effectively and they put rounds on target. Let's see how they do at the next plate.
And that one's a little further away. A miss right away.
Yeah, it looks like they just went over the top there. Let's see if the spotter can make the adjustments here.
This one is more difficult. Miss again.
I don't know if it's in that bush.
Probably one of the most important roles on a team is a spotter. If the spotter does not see the impact, he can't make a correction and hit the plate. It's very crucial that the spotter pays attention and looks to see the impacts.
Unfortunately, he missed on number 3. He will be out of the competition. We caught up with him and asked him, is there a disadvantage to being the first shooter?
Usually yes, because everybody else has a little bit of a clue on what's going on off of how my impacts missed or hit.
The NRA Whittington Center, an unbelievable facility filled with history, Paul.
Yeah, they have a large acreage, beautiful, majestic mountains, and a wide array of different ranges and shooting disciplines.
Yes, and it's on the historic Santa Fe Trail. After the break, we'll meet this man, Reed Woodward, who will be our next shooter as we continue with the King of 2 Miles, presented by Burger Bullets.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Burger Bullets, the highest levels of precision. Bardline Barrels, cutting edge of barrel technology. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Burger Bullets. We're coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center, covering this event for you, and we're ready to take a look and meet our next shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reed Woodward.
Give me a second.
We asked Reed earlier how he got started in extreme long-range shooting.
Short shooting just led to longer shooting. I guess I started out with a BB gun, and then it went from there. I was 6 years old, and I'm over 60 now, so I'm shooting out better than a mile.
So here goes Reed with his first shot.
Remember earlier in the show I talked about the cold bore gong shot? This is it. No practice shots. He's going to try to attempt to hit this with his first shot.
And he did it. Look at that, folks. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. That was only probably 4 inches right, maybe a couple inches low. The very first shot, it really is incredible.
And again.
Do it again, Reed.
Yeah, this is at the first shot at 1,550 yards. Looks like he just hit off to the right a little bit high. Let's see what the spotter and the shooter do on this.
Notice he has a pad under his elbow right there.
Yeah, he's using that pad for support underneath his rifle and also his elbow. Everybody has their own combinations of what they like to see.
Well, he hit that one. Make no change now. Oh, and a miss, Paul. He didn't change anything.
Yeah, he was going off a spotter call. That's just how crucial these positions are. If you get a little bit out of whack, it can make a difference downrange.
Well, that one he hit very well.
Yeah, it was a little bit low. We'll see how they do for their correction.
The spotter's giving him the correction now. Let's see if it's right. No, a miss. So let's take a look at what Reed Woodward did right here. He had 3 shots out of 5. Not bad. He'll get to advance now.
As you notice, the spotter will be giving corrections to the shooter now. And it's very important for the spotter to know the size of the targets so that when he sees the impact downrange, he can make a correction based upon the distance.
Well, he needs a correction right now as he missed the first shot. This is the target that so far in the show is causing problems. They can't get past number 2. And another miss.
Yeah, you notice the miss was approximately 1 plate down below the target where the impact was. And he just gave him a command of 2 clicks up. Now, the problem with that is 2 clicks is only worth about 8 inches of elevation. I don't think that's going to be enough.
We'll find out. You're correct, Paul. So, unfortunately, target number 2 still takes guys out of competition. Welcome to the Whittington Center Museum and Gun Collection. They have some incredible historic guns here. Let's meet the curator with some of that history now.
The Spanish-American War period is actually near and dear to New Mexicans' heart. What happened was Teddy Roosevelt actually came out here to New Mexico and recruited heavily in New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona, primarily because he wanted soldiers who already knew how to ride and shoot. This, what I'm holding right here, is a Colt Single Action Army. This gun actually went to the U.S. Army in 1874. The gun was built in 1873, but it was one of the first Colts that went to the Army under contract. And it started out life as a 7.5-inch barrel, what they call cavalry model. And it undoubtedly seen service during the Indian Wars. What happened was just prior to the Spanish-American War, the Army sent a bunch of them back to Colt and had the barrel shortened to 5.5 inches, and now they were known as the artillery model. All of them were chambered 45 Colt. This particular Colt We have records that it was issued to Corporal Brush out of the Company I of the 1st Volunteer Cavalry, better known as the Rough Riders, just prior to deploying to Cuba. So this little revolver here very may well have gone up San Juan Hill. Great piece of American history.
Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. Bill Carlton gets ready. He's our next shooter. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, we'll have more The King of 2 Miles, presented by Berger Bullets. Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles, presented by Berger Bullets. Our next shooter is Bill Carlton. A competition like this is very difficult, so we asked the entire team of Bill Carlton, how do you prepare for King of the 2 Mile?
I came out here last year and shot King of the 2 Miles, placed 10th, and still at it again, and we're going to continue. I've got an awesome team, and we're developing it and their skills as well as mine, and we're gonna get there, definitely. This isn't something you learn overnight.
There is a whole lot of pressure with it, because if the environmentals and everything that you input into the data stuff, if it's not correct, you're not going to be there.
You just watch what's around you, then you have to talk him into it. 5 mile an hour wind, half MOA, hold left. It's blowing from the left. You know, you've got to give him directions to turn into his scope to dial in what they call the dope.
Well, they're ready to go right here, Paul. You see Bill preparing right there for his first shot on target number 1.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed here is one of his spotters using a pair of binos. That's not really that stable.
Oh, an entire miss. He went completely over the dirt berm you see right there.
Yeah, his elevation zero's off. It's very important when you come to this competition to get 100 yards zero, maybe the day before, and then you can program in your ballistics. You really have to know your ballistics and your zeros here.
Look at the recoil that rifle has right there as you saw the scope. Well, at least he got it down in the dirt this time.
If you noticed on the split screen, on the top left screen it showed the impact off to the left. The bottom screen on the right-hand side showed the impact off to the right. That's just a camera angle. The actual shot was off to the left.
Like that shot right there, almost the same place.
Yeah, they actually hit the same spot 2 times in a row. They need to make an adjustment here.
Well, we saw the spotter giving some instructions. He's making some adjustments right now. Only 2 shots remaining. Look at the concentration these shooters have to have. Oh, completely over the dirt berm again.
That's telling me that he's having some elevation issues here. It could be the load, it could be his position. We're just not sure until we get more shots here, but he's having some position issues, I think.
Same hold. Same hold.
Last shot. No, he missed again, but at least he's down in the dirt.
Yeah, he was narrowing it in. They were all off to the left and up high. Those guys are going to have to go back to the drawing board and do some more practicing.
You had to dial back down to the proper elevation, and I was dancing all around the target. I couldn't get on it.
This is a very unique competition they have out there in New Mexico every year, so we caught up with the match director to find out, how did King of 2 Miles start?
We started the King of 2 Miles as a way of learning how much the actual state-of-the-art in bifocal technology could do, to find out if we actually could do those things that we could see on YouTube videos. Right now, we have a limitation of 50 teams, and we fill it up in about an hour. Most of the guys that were not right there in the internet waiting for the release of the registration, they didn't make it. It filled out in an hour. It's been a super successful event, and it's because of the shooters. They're excited, they want to learn more, they want to practice, they want to develop new technologies, and all the manufacturers are here because they want to be part of it.
We'll take a short break right now. When we continue, we'll meet our next shooter, Dan Polabel, as we continue with King of 2 Miles, presented by Berger Bullets.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Lone Star Field Products, the world's most precise rifle rest. Applied Ballistics LLC, the science of accuracy. And by Stiller's Actions, building the highest precision custom rifle actions in the world today.
Welcome back to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Burger Bullets. Coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. Our next shooter will be Dan Polabel. He shoots Burger Bullets, so we sent Paul to catch up with Brian Litz to find out about the history of this product.
Hi, we have Brian Litz with Burger Bullets here today. Brian, I know you're a ballistician with the Burger. Can you tell me a little bit more about the company?
It's all about hard work, Paul. Burger Bullets has a really interesting history. Walt Burger, the founder, shot his way into the Bench Rest Hall of Fame using bullets that he made on jackets that he turned on a jeweler's lathe, because none of the jackets available for making bullets at the time were concentric enough. So that's really where Burger has its roots in bench rest competition. We work hard from beginning to end, on the floor, making sure that the standards are kept high, and we're active out on the range, shooting shoulder to shoulder with the best in the world to prove our product and to learn more, to innovate and develop better advancements.
What about the future? Is there any innovations for the ELR that you might be thinking about doing?
Yeah, Burger is huge on innovation. Currently for ELR, it's a relatively new, fast-growing sport, and the 338 300 grain Burger Hybrid is the biggest bullet that we have. And it does really well at ELR. Last year you and I shot that very bullet into 2nd and 4th place at this match, so it's very capable. But we have plans to take it even further into 375 and larger calibers. 375 410 grain is the hybrid design that we have for 375, and we're working on that. Burger is very receptive and open to trying new things. The hybrid design is a good example of that. I design the bullets, test the bullets. Actually, in my other company, Applied Ballistics, I test bullets from all brands. So I have a wide range of exposure to what everybody's doing, and I bring all of that knowledge to Burger and am able to innovate designs that Burger then turns around and makes to the high standards that we're known for, and it just really results in some big success for all the teams that choose Burger.
Paul, I have a question. What is ELR?
ELR stands for Extreme Long Range. Typically that's distances past 1,500 yards all the way out to 2 miles.
Well, the first shot is a hit.
Yeah, I expected that from Dan. He's a world champion shooter and veteran machinist. This rifle here is his 338 Lapua improved with 300 grain Burgers, and they were doing their homework and got their elevations correct.
Dan, you need to come up 1 minute.
Now, you heard him tell him to come up 1 minute.
Yeah, he saw the spot and did a quick adjustment. Let's see how he does here.
Good shot.
Guess what? It worked. Wow.
There it is. Yeah, these guys are both in the U.S. rifle team, and they work very well together with teamwork.
Another hit, and they're shooting rapidly, too. They're not taking a lot of time.
Absolutely. They're understanding the absolute corrections, and they're shooting fast, which is going to enable them to get shots on target without the wind changing their shots.
Incredible. He had 4 hits and only 1 miss. What a great job. Let's find out a little bit more about that gun that Paul referred to.
This is a little gun compared to most of the guys are shooting. This is a 338 Lapua improved, shooting a 300 grain bullet, and most of these guys are shooting 50s or 375s with 400 or 500 or grain bullets. So we're at a little bit of disadvantage, but this is a very accurate rifle, so it's a trade-off.
Accurate indeed. He hit 4 out of 5. He's pretty good. Now, target number 2 that's been elusive so far.
Yeah, it just looks like it just missed low.
But he's close. Boy, you hear him. They're correcting him right here. This team is good.
Yeah, good teamwork, good communication, and they're shooting quickly.
Wow.
Hit.
Wow, he hit. So somebody finally gets past target number 2. He gets a 3rd shot. And another hit. Dan Polabel gets to move on. He gets past the elusive target 2, and he does it right with 2 hits. Now, target number 3. First time we've seen that. First shot, target number 3, shot number 1, and he hits right away.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. That means that they're on with their ballistics.
Dan, that one was 6 o'clock off the plate.
So you heard the spotter telling him how to correct. And the spotter got it right. Another hit. 2 out of 3 on the third target. That's absolutely incredible. So now we'll move on to target number 4. It's going to get good now, folks. This is over 1 mile. First shot, and it's a hit.
Yeah, this is over a mile away, and that first shot he made was only 6 inches low and about 4 inches right. Amazing shot.
Good.
Here's another amazing shot. Another hit, folks, on target number 4.
Right of your last impact.
Yeah, this is over a mile away, and he's pumping rounds within 8-10 inches from the middle of that target.
Unfortunately, he missed, but what do you want? 2 out of 3. He got through number 4. He's our first qualifier. When we caught up with Dan, he talked to us about his experience.
Good time. First time coming down here to shoot this event. I've shot at this range a lot. Shoot F class, a lot of 1,000-yard matches.
That will bring to a close our first coverage here of King of 2 Miles presented by Burger Bullets. We'll have more qualifying next week. Until then, I'm Ted Jones for expert commentator Paul Phillips. See you then.